One of the many women did because you're in your 30s or maybe you're into your 40s as well, and you feel like there's something going on with your body and you can't figure out what it is. This is something we've been hearing a lot from clients recently, so I wanted to talk about this. We do talk often about we need to find the root cause. Why are you dealing with the things that you're dealing with? And my experience in the past was I went to my doctor. I was in my early 30s, yeah, around 33. And my doctor said, "Oh, you're going into perimenopause." Okay, but then didn't give me any solution, any things that I could do. And so we need to find out why. Why are you dealing with the symptoms that you're dealing with? I was talking with a woman this morning that was talking about how the season change was really hard on her this year. And if you are someone who lives in Canada, January was a long, dark month. So there's some understanding of why that would be a problem, but it also can be an indication from your body that your hormones are starting to shift. And this can lead to mood swings or different energy levels or different sleep problems or changes in your cycle and so many different things. But we need to start figuring out what's the reason that you're having the symptoms that you're having. And this is not just for women in perimenopause or menopause or going into puberty. This is for every human being. If you're dealing with a symptom, symptoms are messages from the body. Your body is trying to tell you that something's not right and it needs some help. And things we talk about often and things that are worth considering are things like parasites that Western medicine often doesn't really pay a whole lot of attention to. They may run blood work for you, they may run a stool sample for you. But if the parasites are hanging out in tissues in your body, or for me, I had parasites in my brain. It's why I wasn't sleeping properly. And until we dealt with that, the sleep just continued to be terrible. And blood work won't show that because it's not in your bloodstream. So, this is where frequency medicine is fascinating because we're able to test for different frequencies. Like parasites are going to have different frequencies, bacterias are going to have different frequencies, mold, organs that aren't functioning well, we can figure out what areas need support, what's the cause, and what's going to help them get back into balance. And so, parasites, mold, heavy metals, Lyme. Another one that's been really popping up for us lately is BPA. Do you guys know what that is? You probably do because years ago they made a move to stop putting BPA in water bottles. And so there's lots of water bottles that you can find in many of the sporting goods stores or Canadian Tire if you're in Canada they're still plastic, but they're labeled as BPA free. The problem here is that they had to find something else that would make them solid so they're not squishy, and that's usually BPS, which is not better. Sorry to say. Also, when it comes to BPA in plastics, I was listening to a a webinar type thing with a gentleman today that was talking about how plastics are actually found in our cardiovascular system, in our veins and arteries, and it's a big part of what causes plaque and buildup in veins and arteries. And plastics can be found in cord blood as well on newborn babies. So plastics is something that we're faced with all the time. And when it comes to looking for simple steps you can take to start allowing your body to balance hormones naturally and so that you can get healthy and stay there, plastics is a really big one. And I'm going to share with you some things that you might not know. This one's pretty obvious. How many foods, when you go into the grocery store, come in a plastic bag? The food is plastic is gonna end up in this food. These are carrots for my horse. I'm currently doing carnivore, so there's no carrots in my diet, but they're wrapped in plastic. Eggs come in plastic. Cheese comes in plastic. This one you may not understand. So this is organic chicken broth. So I'm buying the best possible option when it comes to chicken broth, but this is a cardboard container. Your kids' Tetra Packs, lunch boxes. Those I see them in Costco all the time. The protein shakes, the pre-made protein shakes, Premier Protein. I could do a whole other thing about that because there's lots of stuff in there that's not that great for you. But these are lined with plastic because liquid and paper don't mix. Here's another situation where liquid and paper don't mix. How many get a takeout coffee cup? Tim Hortons, Starbucks. These are lined with plastic. You couldn't put coffee in a paper cup and expect the cup to hold onto it. So they have to line it with plastic so it doesn't leak. And then I was guilty in the past because I was a retail manager, and we used to joke that if you want the store to get busy, send someone on a coffee run. Because if we were having a dead day, someone went to get coffee, and all of a sudden the store was packed with customers. So your coffee would sit and get to retail temperature until the traffic died down. And then we would take this plastic lined cup with the plastic lid on top and we would microwave it. That's going to release even more plastic into your cup. This is actually less of a problem than this is because you're putting hot liquid into your coffee cup, which is going to release even more plastic into your body. Then there's these. How often have you gone into Costco, gone into Walmart, gone into any of the big box stores, and there's like skid after skid after skid of cases of water bottles? They're super cheap. So you buy a 30 pack of water bottles. How long has it been sitting in the store? What temperature has it been exposed to? How long does it sit in your house? This is going to continually be releasing plastic into your water as it's sitting in this water bottle. I don't even know I have this, but so these need to go. The whole point here is, where are there areas in your life that you can find ways to replace the plastics with other things? This is a bit challenging. You're going to have to buy carrots in bulk or veggies in bulk if you're looking to reduce plastics in that context. This, you can switch to a glass water bottle. So don't buy it in this. Buy a glass water bottle, and then you can get a distiller or reverse osmosis system. My preference is distilled water, and make sure that you're always drinking in a glass water bottle, just so that it's not continually releasing plastic into your system. I don't have a plastic food container anymore, but that's another one. Kids take their lunches to school. I've seen lots of metal ones now, which is exciting, but metal or glass is your best option when it comes to food containers. And I've been talking about this for years, because what do? We take our food, we put it into the plastic, pretend this is plastic. We put it into the plastic container, we take it to work, and then we heat it up, which releases even more plastic into your system. And plastic is one of the biggest endocrine disruptors, which is a hormone imbalancing agent. It goes in and it clogs up receptors that's supposed to have hormones go into them, and then the body can't function properly. And our hormone system is our body's communication system. So if there's one thing that you can do today to reduce the amount of plastics that you're coming in contact with, oh, here's another one that people don't know about on a daily basis. Receipts. Do you know receipts are lined in BPA? Do you know that I worked in retail for 20 years? How many times was I touching receipts? And anything that touches our skin, our body absorbs. So anytime that you're absorbing BPAs or you're absorbing plastics into your system, it's going to throw your system out of balance. So if there's one thing you can do today to help reduce the amount of plastics in your system, get a glass water bottle. Or you can get stainless steel ones as well. Make sure you're drinking water out of something that is not putting plastic back into your system. So glass or stainless steel. And then when it comes to food containers, get glass containers. You can get these anywhere now, which is great. You can heat the food in this, you can eat the food out of this, and it's not going to give you any problems. They do have plastic lids, so you want to take the plastic lid off when you're heating your food. For kids, I've also seen they have stainless steel lunch containers, which is great. But like, look for areas in your life when you come in contact with plastic. There's multiple things. Like, I just picked things from the kitchen. Everything that we come in contact with, our shampoo is in plastic, our deodorant is in plastic. There's so many different things that it's really hard to make changes to be able to get the plastics out of your system. So if you can do one thing today, if you can do one thing today with your food and your beverages, to start reducing plastic from your system. This is going to be beneficial in the long run for your hormone health, for your overall well being, for your cardiovascular health. And so, hopefully, you found this helpful. If you have any questions or need any support, this is one of the things we test for. We have a long list of things we test for when someone comes in with symptoms. A common one that I've seen recently, as I mentioned, was women kind of in 30s and into their 40s as well who are like, I don't want to talk about menopause. And I'm like, I get it. But the more you can do for yourself leading up to that phase of life, the better you're going to handle it when you get there. This is no different for men as well. This is not just for women. If you're looking to have healthy hormones going on later into life, I mean, men who don't have hormones, you can't maintain muscle, you can't build muscle. Libido drops. There's a lot of things that falter when hormones are not supported. And so, this is a big thing you can do, a big small thing you can do today to start supporting your hormones. Glass food containers, glass water containers. If you do have to bring your food to work in plastic, don't heat it in there. Put it on a plate, heat it on the plate, and eat it there. Okay. So hopefully you got some value from this. If you have any questions, let me out. Let me know. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day. If you're in Ontario, it's beautiful out. So get out in the sunshine and I will talk to you soon.